All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Um, my name's Steve Shamel. I'm the Instructional Technology Manager at Southwestern Illinois College. I'm going to be your moderator today for this afternoon session of the Growing Online Learning Conference presented by ILCO. Our theme for this conference this year is AI Transforming Education for Tomorrow. Really quickly, I'd like to thank Heartland for providing the web conferencing platform and for making sure that these conferences are closed captioned and also being recorded. So if you would like to go back, the recordings will be made available at a later date. So if you want to go back and review anything that we go over today, those will be made available at a later date. All right. Just real quick, just a couple of business items to go through before we get to Lisa's presentation. So our schedule here, so the conference schedule. So we are in day 2 of this conference in the afternoon. There's still 2 more sessions tomorrow. If you'd like to attend either of those are listed on the screen now. Today's session is going to be presented by Lisa Ward. She works with me at Southwestern Illinois College. Her presentation, Empowering Educators, Integrating AI as a Faculty Productivity Tool in Higher Education. So she's going to show you guys a lot of interesting tools that you can use to make your lives a little bit easier, hopefully. During the session, she's going to bring up some examples of these tools. If you have any questions, feel free to post those questions into the meeting chat. I will probably interrupt her from time to time with those questions, just so she can answer them while she's actually using the tool that you're asking about. We'll also, if we have time, leave some time at the end of the end of the webinar for more general questions. All right. And just my last slide here is just a little bit of information about the conference recording. So after the conferences will be available at ilco.net under the resources and events area. And if you want to have anyone like more information about ILCO, you can contact Jeff.
This is the screen. This is an interactive Genially screen. I'm going to put that in the chat box right now, that if you want to go and I know some people like to go ahead of others. You certainly can. This is all an interactive tool. It's so anybody can access it. So feel free to share this as well. So anybody can bounce around with this whenever it's going to be available. I'm not taking it down at any time. On the first screen, this link to resource folder, this will take you to a OneDrive folder that has an abundance of items, and I'll refer to it quite often as we're going through the slides. When you go to the resource folder, there's one that says standards to support prompts. We're going to talk about prompt building and how you can reduce your prompt building by using some different standards, CTE standards, state standards, all kinds of stuff. And I have resources in this folder to help you with that. Also, there's these 6 folders here. These actually sign up to different slides. So there's a task slide and it says there's additional information. This is where that additional information is located. I've tried to give you lots of resources. We're not going to hit absolutely everything in the resources as we go through this, but this is a tool for you to go and deep dive into what hits in your environment. Okay, the link for the Genially is in that drive as well. And then this is an interactive PDF of these slides. So even if you want to share more of a document-based item, the interactive pieces will still be there to link to different videos and things of that nature. Okay, so we're going to bounce right on through. I do go rather quickly. This is kind of an overview of the agenda. There are some things we might not get to, but I wanted to get you information to help you with it. Okay, all of these are linkable to the different sections as we go through. So if you go back and prompting is what you want to dig back into, you can click here and go straight to the prompting one. Okay, off we go. So overview of AI. Lots of overview for AI. Computer systems. I know you've had a lot of information already given on this. Understanding the processes, language, recognizing patterns, things like that is how we use AI. An overview, we're going to talk a lot about generative AI. So a little more specific than just all artificial intelligence. Generative is how you can use the AI to create content, text, images, music, even code. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I want you to understand whenever you're doing anything with generative AI, understand that even the Cambridge Dictionary added hallucinate. has a new definition, and it's when artificial intelligence hallucinates, it produces false information. Keep an understanding that your AI, whichever AI tool you're using, is running out to the internet, grabbing everything it can and bringing you back what you're looking for. And yes, there are things on the internet that are not true. So you may get results that aren't exactly what you want it. So when you're building a lesson plan, we as instructors and faculty to look through that to see if it might have brought anything and hallucinated anything. If you've ever done any generative AI to build images, you really know what I'm talking about. I did a really nice one. It looked absolutely gorgeous. And then 2 of the students had 3 legs. So it didn't work out so well. It will come back and it will hallucinate. So get used to that term. And now, where could you use AI tools before? Where are they around us? Well, if you've ever done voice typing, either Google Docs or Microsoft Word, you're using AI. And that hallucinate comes into play if you talk as quickly as I talk. And yeah, I know I talk quickly. It doesn't always get what I want it to say. It makes up words that it thought it's heard. Again, that's AI. Automatic captioning. It's great. YouTube, our tool on Brightspace, we can do automate the generation of closed caption, which is great. Again, if you talk as fast as I do, there's an editing we need to do. All right, Alexa or Siri. My husband, who's not the tech savviest person, has Siri set up his alarms. I use Alexa for timers, especially Thanksgiving. I could have 9 different timers going, and it tells me what I need to take out of the oven. So that's all AI. Microsoft has a reading coach now for reading progress, where a student is videotaped as they're reading through something, and it goes back and highlights how their reading progress is going along. Google Translate. I needed this when I was stationed over in Germany, that you could scan a sign and it's going to tell you in your language what that sign says. Google Lens. I always think about the Big Bang Theory where Penny was doing the shoe thing where you scan it and it tells you where to go purchase it. Well, Google Lens will do that for you. It'll also translate the document. It'll do all sorts of things in there, and that's all AI. So how can we use AI in education? So educational, creating personalized learning, practice questions, feedback for students, explaining topics at any level and depth. I love adding to a prompt, explain it like I'm 5. And you can get any content topic explained down to a level of a 5-year-old. You can also have it explain it like I'm a 5th grader, high schooler, anything like that. You can give that definition to it, and you're going to get a really good and something that meets your learners' needs. Right. So in here, tasks. So remember I showed you those folders in the OneDrive. One of them was task. If you click on it, no, not click on this, but if you go into the task folder, it'll have one of this, generative AI examples, a lesson plan creation. It talks about what the prompt was, what ChatGPT's response is. It's a much deeper dive into that specific type of using AI to do. So there's one for writing emails, writing lesson plans, creating assessments, and creating rubrics. So there's a deep dive in those folders. Under task, we'll have a document for each one of these 4. Okay, off we go. Data, how to use it with data. I'll have you know, I had it write me an Excel spreadsheet formula this morning. As a matter of fact, I was having a difficulty with a VLOOKUP formula. I went into chat and told it what I wanted to do, and it gave me the VLOOKUP formula. It was awesome. I've spent many hours sometimes with that. So there's a deeper dive in the data folder as well. Reading, here's other ways with reading. I only tagged this one because that's more higher ed, but know that there are other ways to do the other ones listed as well. And writing, how can we use it to help with writing? One of my favorite ones here is generating model writing and flawed writing. If you're doing something with an English course and they have to edit something for grammar, edit it for any editing you need to be teaching and all of that, I always sit down and have to write out an inappropriate or incorrect paragraph. I can have ChatGPT do that as well and have it do flawed writing, and then be able to give that to students to have them do the editing with it. And they're all doing the same exemplar and doing the editing for it. Have it work it for you. But again, there's a deeper dive in there for that. Conversations. One of my favorite ones here is have the AI be a character from a book, from history, and have a conversation. So you can have a conversation with Abraham Lincoln. You can have a conversation with anybody if you tell the AI to be that person and give them a question, and they'll answer it as that person would have answered it. Give that a try sometime. It's really fun. It's a way to make history come alive as well. Okay, personal tutors. So explaining topics on every level. It helps students walk through a problem step by step. And it's not just a math problem. It could be many choices, depending upon the content area they're talking about. Coding is a good one as well. Different things of that nature. All right, generative AI chatbots. There's 3 top AI chatbots, ChatGPT. The 3.5 is the free version. It's available. Off you go, do anything you want. The 4.01 gives you a little more availability and things you can do. It also includes DALL-E, which is the image developer, but there is a free resource that gives you DALL-E as well. And we'll talk about that the later we go on. So ChatGPT is one. Microsoft Copilot, if you are a Microsoft school, you can actually have this on for your instructors. So that this little icon right here will show up. It'll show up in Edge if you use the Edge browser. For Microsoft, it'll also start to show up in Word, in PowerPoint, things like that. And that's your chat GPT or your chat bot right there, ready to go. And the third one is Google Bard. Google Bard is in Google, of course, and Bard Google, and off you go. They all set up pretty much the same way. Google Bard yesterday now has picture imaging as well. So they're trying to catch up to that DALL-E and have that generative AI for images. I haven't gotten to play with it yet, but it's in Google Bard as well. We're going to play a little bit with those in just a minute, but we want to talk about prompting. As instructors or anybody that's using these chatbots, you have to know how to prompt it to get what you want. It's an awesome skill. So we're going to go into how to prompt. So you're going to provide your AI prompt, and you need to have it as a conversation. It's different than a Google search. Okay, you want to have a conversation as if you're talking to a person. So we're talking about this framework. RTF framework is the easiest of the frameworks to create a prompt. You have a role, a task, and what format you would like the result to come out in. Okay, so a couple of choices here. As an accountant, schedule a monthly budget, show in a spreadsheet. So we have the role. I want the chatbot to be an accountant, scheduling a budget, and then I want it to see it in a spreadsheet format. Okay, the one I want to talk about up here is this: as a college instructor, create a lesson plan to support CCR.W.2 when using Microsoft Word, show in an outline format. So this up here, the CCR.W.2 is actually College and Career Ready Standard Writing number 2, which is part of the Illinois Learning Standards for K through 12, College and Career Ready. So that standards books are all of those standards. How this helps, if I put CCR.W.2 in there, the chatbot actually sees that. So it's going to see, I want an informative and explanatory text to examine and convey complex ideas. That's a lot to type. If I can just type CCR.W.2, the chatbot knows the rest of that paragraph. So if you haven't not looked at standards for the state of Illinois, the high school standards books are in that resource for you, but also CTE standards. There are career tech ed standards, nationwide standards. They're in there as well. Agricultural, nursing, culinary, any of those career tech types, business, finance, communication, all of those standards are in the standards folder in that OneDrive. It just helps you narrow down and gives your chatbot something to do. As an example, let's go ahead and throw that one in to our chatbot. So I typed it and I put it right here, and I'm going to ask it to give me that in an outline format, and we'll let chat go. So it gives me a title for it here. Here's an objective. Here's the materials that I'll need, the duration that it would take me to do this. And here's my outline for my lesson plan. About how long it's going to take. Now, what's really, really cool is if I go, that's not quite what I wanted, because I just said lesson plan, and that's 90 minutes, and I don't have 90 minutes. I can copy this up here, drop it back down here, and then I want to create a 30-minute lesson plan. We'll see what it does differently. If I scroll down, chat's starting it again. and it's going to break it down a little bit more. They're all mini lessons now. So learning your chats, learning how to do your chats and forming your prompts is the way to really get going with chat. Now this works in ChatGPT. That's the one I showed you here. It works the same in Google Bard. It works the same in Microsoft Copilot as well. Okay. So I'm going to drop that one down. We'll come back into our interactive. Now, if you really want to get detailed, there's a super prompt. So a super prompt has a whole lot more options available to do. So assign a task, use action verbs, summarize, explain, paraphrase, what task you want it to do. Give it a role. I like to add this as well. Define the audience. Am I working with adult learners? Am I working with English language art or English language? Pardon me, English as a second language? That might be a little bit differently. Who am I targeting? Okay. Educational approach, you can include that in there as well. Is it backwards design, student-centered? Tone and style and provide an example are great ways to give it just a little bit more spin to it. As an example, this would be a super prompt. So I've got my role, act as an educational technology specialist in collaborative learning. My audience, adult learners. The task of what I would like it to do, that's where your verb is. And then voice and style are down here. Now they're in brackets. And at the end, what's most important needs to be first, and then continue on. But I like the part here, avoid jargon and acronyms. So if you need to avoid that in what you're building, that's how you include what's going to be taken out versus what's included. All right, let's get into some tools. Okay, first of all, if you ever wonder where there's tools, there's one called There's an AI for that. I like the fact how this does. This is managed by a group of programmers. When I took this, it was 11,000. I think there's 13,000 there now. But what it does is not only does it tell you the name of the chat, what it does, it also tells you if there's no pricing, if there's a free and a paid platform. And then if you go further into it, there's an overview of whatever platform you chose, reviews, and pros and cons for using it, and alternatives like it. So you can type in their search box and ask them, I need an AI that does this. And it's going to come back and give you some results. Just know that that's out there. It's a great resource. Items are vetted a little bit, so it is better than a Google search. Okay, Magic School AI. Now I know it looks cute, but know also that they include college and university level when you use this. This is a freemium, so there is a free platform and completely worth the sign up for it. And there is a paid platform as well. Okay. These are the different choices that are there, but I'm going to show, these have a video, and I'm going to show you the video here and talk you through what it's going, but know that this interactive and the PDF will link to the videos as well. So you can see some of it it's going to do. Now I'm going to do one where it's going to create a rubric. So you can choose university level. Then you'll be able to put in a standard or objective you'd like to be in there. I'm going to do a CTE standard 8.0, which has to do with heavy machinery. Sales plan, sorry, marketing and sales plan for agriculture. There's a description. I can choose the point scale. So I want 5-point scales, and I click generate. There's my rubric. Now, once this finishes and throws this all in here, I'm going to pause it for a minute. It's going to put this whole rubric in here. The paid platform allows you to export it as a Word document or a Google Doc, and it'll do the export to it. The free one allows you to make a copy, and then you can open up Word and paste it if you'd like. So always a way to work around that. I think I have it shown here that then I can copy, paste. It does bring it in there. So then you can edit things as you want. But if you take a moment to look at this, you're going to see that it really gives you your definitions throughout this on how that goes through the point system that it has. I did 5, so it went from 0. You can adjust these now. It's in your Word document. So that's how Magic School works. It's just one piece of Magic School. It has an abundance of other choices. It also has in Reina, it has its own chatbot as well. So it does work just like the other chatbots, but there it has its own. The paid platform of that, Raina, allows you to build on things. So once you ask one question, you can have another conversation question to build on the previous question, and it sees it all the way through. Any questions on Magic School? I'm guessing not. Off we go. Almanac is another one that has does a wonderful rubric as well. Lots of options in there for the rubrics. It has 25 tools to help you with resources, game, curriculums, all sorts of things. Flashcards, rubrics, lesson plans, essay feedbacks. The science lab is really good, but I like the real world generator examples. So in this one, here's geometry. I know math, we always get the, how do I use this in the real world? So this one, I'm going to click the tools, and they have one that says real world applications. So when I click into that one, I can give it a course name. I have a demo course, a lesson title. This again is that standard for geometry. And then I want to copy and paste the text, and I'm going to put here state standard, the geometry standard, and I wanted to make a real world application for it. So here are different exemplars for using that standard in the real world. You can put anything in there, and it comes up with real world examples that you can start to utilize. It just makes make those connections to students that from anything from architecture, computer graphics, GPS navigation, video game development. You see it can a wide range, and helps you to build, if you wanted to, choice boards for using this mathematical concept to show their mastery. So that's Almanac. Diffit. Diffit has quite a range of things. If you work with students, maybe if it's adult education, English as a second language, it has a great way to level any resources. So if you have a PDF of a document that's a very high reading level, you can upload that PDF to Diffit. And when you upload that PDF, it adapts it to a different reading level. What I've done here is they also create some great resources from videos. So if you have a video, now any video that you do put into this, any videos that you put into this do need to have closed captioning. So make sure closed captioning is there. Oh, I see somebody asked, can you input your own objectives and competencies? Yes, you can. You can import your own objectives and competencies that you may have. If it's not a nationwide objective or competency, you might not be able to get away with just a code for it, but you can type in any piece of that you want. If it is a national or a content-wide coding, you can use that. If it's something that if you would search for that, you would find the resources for it, you can use the codes for that as well. Okay, so Diffit, if you have a YouTube video or an article, it's going to do an article as well. I'm going to grab this YouTube video for nursing skills. I'm just going to drop it right in there into the URL. I'm going to keep the original language, but I can change the reading level if I want to. Second grade to 8th grade are your choices. Okay, you can also change the language if you'd like. And then you click on that. We're going to wait. It's going to do its little thing here. What it's doing, it's giving you tips as well as why you're there. The free platform of Diffit, it will get you the results I'm going to show you in here. It does a summary. It will generate vocabulary words. It will also create multiple choice, short answer, and long answer questions. So here's the video here that we use. It's going to scroll down. So there's a reading passage. So it's going to take that and create a reading passage. It's not a transcript. Okay, it's a reading passage. We'll continue on here. You can show the full text and it'll give more. There's a summary. So it gives you a 3-bulleted summary of what was going on in that video. All right. And then keywords. Here are your vocabularies. Notice not only can you use those vocabularies there, you can click and add more vocabulary words to it. Edit. All of these boxes have a copy, and then you could paste it into a Word document or Google Doc anytime you want to. So add vocabulary words and multiple choice questions. If there's 3, which is usually the default, All you need to do is click add questions. Basic comprehension is in the free platform. And then how many more do you need? I want 3 more, generate, and it's going to generate 3 more questions for you for the multiple choice. Come down here, there's short answer, and then there's open-ended prompts as well. You can also add more to those if you'd like. Now, on the very bottom here, it has a thing that says Get Student Activities. That's the paid platform. If you choose that and you're in the paid platform, it'll generate worksheets and things of that nature for you. All right, so that's what's in that aspect there. Okay, let's see, my video has one other thing in here. What do I do? Oh yeah, there you go, the copy. So you can click copy, can open up a Word document. You can show the answers. I strongly suggest that. And again, keep in mind whenever you're generating any quizzes based on anything, a document you've uploaded, a video you've connected to, read through your questions and your answers because it might hallucinate something. And again, you're the last person that needs to really look at this to make sure it's getting across what you'd like to get across and what you'd like to assess on. Okay, so that's DFID. On we go. Question well. Again, this is generating AI questions. Any topic, subject, grade, you can use lots of different choices for this, including you can upload an Excel spreadsheet if you want to for it, or you can have it generate it based upon standards. You can base upon a concept as well. Many different ways. But the one thing I like about QuestionWell is its exportability. So once you create it through AI and you like all of it, you can export it into Google Forms, quizzes, Kahoot, Canvas, Gimlet, Booklet, and more. When I mean more, you can also do it for Blackboard. You can do it for Brightspace, although Brightspace takes the Canvas one. It's the same QTI one, and I show you that in the video here. Okay, so QuestionWell. Whoops, I didn't want my sound on there because I'm going to talk about it. Okay, so you can choose text, you can pull from a YouTube, from a website, any of those things. The file and doc with these little lightning bolts, those are part of their paid platform. So you can say how many questions you want. Multiple choice is the default for the free application. Okay. And then based on what you'd like it to do here. I believe this is the one I did heavy machinery. So I'm using the California CTE guidelines. So I'm going to say learning outcomes or standards. And then this is the document you have available for you there that I highlight that, which is the standard for CTE for heavy machinery. And I'll copy that, place it in there. There it is. So the CTE standards. And then I want to generate the questions. Now I asked for 20. It does take a little while. I believe I paused my video here. You don't have to watch for the whole time as it's doing it. You get a little robot to tell you when it's getting finished and when it's getting done. We'll let it go. It comes back to it. Heavy machinery, which is what I named it to begin with. You can change this at this point. And then here are all the questions. I also have over here what standard that matched to. I can filter it this way to see how many questions match to each one of those. And then in my video here, you can select all, and then you can export. Okay. The darker ones, of course, are the correct answers. Again, double check that in case it's hallucinating and answered it incorrectly. I go back up and I'll show you the export. Now you can go through this and just do the questions of select ones that you might want out of the 20 it generated. If I select all and choose export. This is where you choose what you would like to export it as. So you see there's lots of choices. QTI 1.2 is the same one for works in Brightspace. I pull it down for ours all the time. You can also do Blackboard, Microsoft Forms as well.
Lisa, real quick.
Yes.
If you notice that it's hallucinating, can you correct it here, or do you have to wait till after you've exported it?
You can correct it here. You can correct it while you're in question well. Yeah, it'll let you take the edits before you export it. Okay, so once it exports up in there, it does export enough that you bring into, well, in Brightspace, when we bring it in, it brings it in as question sets. It does not bring it in as a full quiz. It brings it in as in our question area, and then you can build those into a quiz. Okay, so that is question well. Quizzes AI is another one that will generate questions. This one, however, I like this one because you can put in a PDF and a PowerPoint and it'll create the questions, but you can't export it. Okay, but you can embed it into your learning management system. And certainly something you embed on a website and that, but no, I like it because it has the, I kept it on there because it has the PowerPoints that you can bring in. The other ones you can bring in the PDF and a doc, but not necessarily the PowerPoint. A little bit about AI and bringing in PowerPoints as well. If your PowerPoint words are images and they don't have any alternative text for it, it's not going to be able to create any questions from it. So make sure the PowerPoints that you're bringing in, the text are text boxes. Otherwise, it won't generate anything. I have lots of instructors here that have pictures of the text and it won't generate anything from that. It'll just see it as a JPEG. Okay. Let's see, Goblin Tools. Goblin Tools is one of my favorite, no need to log in and just have fun with tools. Different things. It has 5 different choices of things they can do. Magic to do, formalizer, judge, estimator. It also has a chef one that you can type in what's in your pantry and it'll tell you how to create a lovely little dinner. Great for culinary arts if you have culinary arts classes. So it's just a fun one to use. But we're going to talk about the to-do and then the formalizer. So you don't have to log in for this. It's just there. So this is using Goblin Tools to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I like the peanut butter and jelly sandwich because we've all had to do that at some point to list out the steps you need to do. So you put it in there and then you choose the number of peppers for how detailed you want it to be. It could be 1, it could be 6, I think is the top one. So I just did the middle of the road and I wanted to break down the steps for building a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So depending upon your environment in there, you may want the students to have something broken out. What are the steps? So this is the 3 pepper peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And you can see we have several steps available there. I can do the exact same one, change the peppers to be all of them, 5, and then run that one. And it's going to tell me the steps to do that. And you see there's many more steps to get that done and the more detailed it is. So if you have something where they have to remember a process, a step, or you're going to do a research project and you want them to have certain steps for it, you can type whatever you want in there and then it'll break down the steps for your students or even steps for you on to get that done. Okay. So up here, there's a formalizer, the judge, estimator, compiler, and the chef are the choices. Next video I'm going to show you is the formalizer. I have a lot of good fun with this one. Have you ever wanted to write an email to say something and you just know what you're writing is not going to be given very well? So I'm going to type an email here. I want to say that this equipment is broken. Let me back up just a minute. It goes faster than me. The equipment is broken because you didn't follow directions. Maybe not the right way to put it. So if I type that in here, I can then ask it to be more professional. Okay. And if I say more professional and I click convert, it tells me a more professional way in which I should say that. All right. I can also go in and say, I want to be more polite. I can convert that as well. So it's a little more polite. Now, just for fun, not that I would ever send it out this way, but I like how this works. Maybe I want to be more sarcastic. Sometimes you just need to giggle through the day. So if I do more sarcastic, how about this? Oh, bravo, you give yourself a round of applause because equipment is just unbelievably broken. Yeah, I might not send that either, but it's a nice way to giggle. Okay. So you can also go back and change it to anything of these other choices that are here, more formal, easier to read, things of that nature. There's lots of options you can change this. You can adjust the pepper as well to be there less or more, however you'd like to do it. Easier to read, less snarky. It's just a way, sometimes you just need to write something down, but you need to do it in a better fashion. This is the way to do it. I have one more example on here. Let's see. I did one is, there, you failed the quiz because you didn't study or do the work. Let's make it more polite, more professional. There we go. So again, change and adjust any of these you'd like to do to see where it is. The other one I like is the judge. I didn't make a video for this one yet, but sometimes I read an email that I get in the afternoon, and it's been a day of 4 days all in one. And I read an email and I'm like, oh, they didn't just tell me that. And I've taken the concept or the what they're trying to persuade me for in a different fashion than they meant. The number one miscommunication in today's world of work is emails. Tone of voice is not there, and tone of voice is not available. If you copy that email, put it in the judge, it's going to judge its emotion attached to that. It just kind of gives you a check. Is this coming off, or are you just seeing it not the right way because of what your day has been? So I think it's an awesome tool for that. Again, no login required for this at all. Goblin Tools is just ready to go. Okay, Learn AI. Learn AI has paid and premium. The ones with the open locks are the free. Lesson plan builders, unit builders, you can give it a concept and have it design a course. And it's going to give you a lovely outline of that course, designing it. And then you can dig further down within the course. Yes, it should be saving you time, but the first time you do it, you're going to have some time. You're going to be playing with a few. It's wonderful for it. These are all the ones that are free in the platform. I like the Analogy Maker. It is fantastic. Structuring a course, scenario-based learning activity. If you want to create a scenario-based learning activity for culinary arts, communication, arts, math, you can give it what you're looking for, what standard, what concept, what you're working on, and ask it for a scenario-based learning activity, and it's going to generate it for you. So a wonderful tool for that. All right, let's do in some great graphic generative AI tools. There's some fabulous graphic ones out there that are free. Adobe Firefly is probably the most fun that I've had. Adobe Firefly is free, of course. Adobe Express has a free account as well. I strongly suggest signing up in both with the same email address, because when you generate something within the AI generator of Adobe Firefly, you then can edit it in Adobe Express. So it makes it super easy to create an awesome graphic and then throw it into Adobe Express and add text and so forth. Adding text when you do an AI generative project, text still comes out kind of wonky. So generate your picture first and then add text to it in another platform, whatever your platform you would like to have. Okay, so I'm going to drop my captions there. Okay, so this is Firefly. You come up here and this is where you're going to type in. You have to describe your image. Now, we talked about building prompts before. The description of what you'd like it to be really needs to be detailed. And the more detailed, the better the picture is you're going to get. Okay, so I do one in here where I want to create a graphic for an astrology teaching unit on Saturn in the style of Cubism. It's great to do Cubism. Let me sign in. Any artistic style, you can throw that in there. They also will pop up suggestions when you're in this box as you start to do it. It's going to give you helpful hints in that. The default aspect ratio is always square to start with. It'll come up with 4 choices. And you can look at it, or if you're looking at it, you're going, no, that's not exactly what I want. So it's either photo or art. Because I said Cubism, I got art. You can change the intensity of it. Lots of other resources over here you can manipulate with. And say, well, I want to change my prompt a little bit. Okay. So if I change my prompt, maybe I don't like the Cubism for Saturn. I'm going to try something else. So we're going to try anime. Notice it popped up with different things to help me, other suggestions. There you go. You can choose any of those if you'd like, but I'm going to click generate. I want an anime version. Again, your descriptions, you can always say all blue, and it's going to come back all blue. So lots of choices. And once you go, okay, I like these better than Cubism, you can hover over and open it. It's going to open up one of the pictures a little bit better. You can see it a little closer. You can bounce to them more. And then there's an edit up at the top. So up in the left-hand corner, when you click on, oh, there you can download it if you want to just download the picture where it is. Or you can go in and edit. So you get a couple of edits in here, and that's a generative fill, showing some similar ones. In other words, regenerate it. But the ones below it where you're applying filters, adjustments, text and that's in Adobe Express. So if you're using Adobe Firefly, you can download the picture and then bring it into Photoshop or Canva or wherever else you want to do any graphics with it. Or you can go into Adobe Express and it automatically gets you the tile there ready to go and things you can change. You can change the contrast and you can see it as you're doing it. The brightnesses, anything like that. So I choose the different ones here, saturate the colors a little differently. Anything you want to do with that. Your adjustments as well, you can do in and add text to it. So there we can add text, effects. Maybe you want it to be grayscale. You click on and change the whole thing to grayscale. Lots of options and choices there and ways that you can add to it. Text, it allows you to add text, either just straight text in a text box, or you can do it with different formatting that they've already got pre-built there. However you'd like to do it. The next video I have is on using text effects, which is another one. You can download as a PNG, you can download as a JPEG, or download it as a PDF if you like. Those are the three options to download. Again, this is free as well. So you can download it any way you want to and use the picture however you'd like. Another tool it has is text effects. Text effects, if you want something a little different than just plain old text. This is the whole thing. Text to image. Let me get rid of my captions. Generative fill that you can do. All of those options. We're going to do text effects. So here you have where you can enter the text. Here's some examples if you aren't sure what you want to do. Things you'd like. You can describe, so you're going to enter the text that you want it to create and then describe how you want it to be, what you'd like it to show up as.
Real quick, Lisa, if
Yeah.
you want to use the same image in a new way, can you upload that and generate additional images like the bird drinking from a bird bath rather than sitting in the tree?
You can upload that, yes. I would upload, it depends upon how much is in there. So if you upload just the bird, okay, by itself, and then have it then drinking from a bird bath, it will put that bird in the bird bath. If it wasn't generated with the AI, it might not know to remove the tree and put the bird bath in. If I was looking in it at the same time, and let me stop this. If I was in the Firefly and it came back with a bird and a tree, I would redo the prompt and say, put it in a bird bath. If I'm uploading an image, I've only uploaded individual PNGs, so like just the bird, and then had it place the bird in different things. And I would change the prompts to have the bird in different scenes. Does that make sense? And there's different video tool or graphical tools as well. This is just the first one. So they all do it a little bit differently. So this one for the text, awesome. Thank you, Leigh. So Culinary Arts 101, name of my course, and I want dripping cheese from a pizza. And this is what it gave me, okay? If I click on these boxes down here, it's going to show me different ones. So these are, again, 4 options and choices. And I can look through and see the dripping cheese from Culinary Arts. It's just a way to make it however you want. I saw the examples before we popped into this one. Just all the different choices that you can do to any text you type. Okay. Let's see. So options to share it. That button is to share. So download. You can copy the image and paste it into a PowerPoint if you'd like. any of those things. You can save it to your library and keep it there under Adobe. It does pop up every once in a while, transparency, that things may be not right. Okay. Transparency in the generated, that these are generated through Adobe. They're yours to generate, but just know it's that connection to it. So it'll download a PNG. I strongly suggest the PNG, because if you do it as a PNG, whatever's behind in these opening areas, like if you put it on a blue PowerPoint slide, you're going to see the blue coming through this because it is a PNG. Okay, so that's using Firefly, Adobe Firefly, to generate both text and graphics. Okay, AutoDraw is in lots of places. It's a Google one. I like it because as you start to draw your stick figure, it starts to show you what you might be trying to draw. I can draw a mean stick figure, and with a mouse, sometimes it takes a little longer as well. So this is a great way to change it to fill. It's all within AutoDraw. AutoDraw is actually in other tools as well. So there's lots of tools out there that AutoDraw is now being built into. What's the one? Book Creator is one of them. AutoDraw is in Book Creator. So it plays from that, but this is just a great one to go straight to and start building. It's great to make simplistic drawings. Not those major graphics, but if you need an icon, if you just need a couple of simple things, again, you just start to draw and it starts to assume what it is you're building. Scribble Diffusion. You can take a scribble and it's going to make a picture of it. So I don't draw well, but I was certainly on that. AutoDraw is not in PowerPoint, but you can throw your design in there because it'll save it as a PNG. Yeah, there's a drawing tool in PowerPoint, but it's not AutoDraw as of yet. Okay, so Scribble Diffusion. And then, of course, you can download this JPEG, PNG, all of that. I love the cat. Canva. Canva has a great image generator as well. Their full free platform is for K-12. Unfortunately, they haven't extended it to higher ed yet, but they do have a free resource as well. You can do more with the AI generation in there on the paid platform, but you can do several of the text to images. Okay, Chimera Painter, any of your art instructors and all of that, this is one to really start to get some great artistic things that you can connect to. I really like it. It does transform. It does the paint brushes, erasers. It's just it's a nice tool. Padlet images. So if you ever create a Padlet, there's a new button down at the bottom. It says I can't draw. And then we type in what you'd like it to draw, and it's going to come up with those images for you. It comes up with 6 images, whereas the Firefly came up with 4. You can copy and download those images and however you want. It doesn't need to be in a Padlet bulletin board or anything like that. It can just be go into Padlet, I can't draw, and it'll generate these. Here's a couple other collections for you and available for you. Just places to go and look with really good people managing these resources. If you want to find more, the Google AI experiments, they're always trying out new things and always allowing you to test them before they come out. So each one of these are just really good resources to go to more things. There's an AI for that. Okay. Now, I have some slides here on addressing AI misuse, and this is just to, because I knew I would get questions from my faculty here. It's not giving you a do it this way sort of thing. There's just things to look at. What are the concerns? So addressing integrated assignments, things of that nature. There's just things to think about as you start to develop those. What are the concerns that might be going on? And then to think about what's acceptable and what's not. So writing a paper yourself with no AI is acceptable. Having the whole paper written is not acceptable. Well, where do the other 12 fall in that? Other ideas? So where do you go from there? So where does that fall? Is it acceptable? Is it not? Things to question. Developing AI guidelines. These again, just questions to think about. Okay. Other questions to think about. Developing more guidelines. Just to have a conversation. Where do you start? So this just gives you an idea of where to start. How to educate your students about it, what's to use it, and then integrating it in assignments. And then you can do a proper citation. So if you're doing an MLA format or an APA format, here's a link on how to give credit to the AI for whatever piece that the AI might have done for the document. So this is a great one for to have available for your students. If you're allowing some of that AI, maybe it's an AI to help build the outline for an essay. All the slides on here do have a home button that takes you back to this original one, that then can take you to the different items there. Hi, so Steve tells me I have 10 minutes. Well, I have 9 minutes now. Any questions? I know it a lot, and it's fast, and there's an abundance of resources there. Does anybody have any questions about any of the tools or looking for a tool to do something else?
Hey, Lisa.
Hello.
Yes, which of the folders in the can we find this presentation?
Where can you find this presentation? Was that the question?
Of your folders. I'm open to that. I opened the ECHO conference files.
Okay.
Folders. Which folder is there?
So right here on the very first slide is the link to the resource folder.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go into the resource folder, so this is the standards to support the prompts. So if you want, if you need help with the standards to help with your prompting, this is where they are located. This is the.
I'm sorry. I mean this presentation, this slides, because you went very fast, and I wanted some.
This one right here. So in the box, the ILCO conference AI for faculty. This is the PDF of the slides.
Okay.
Okay, but the interactive slide tool, this one right here, which the link is here as well. This is going to be up so anybody can access this and go through the slides.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I see one in here. Access the presentation with the resources. You can access it on this Genially. This is open to everybody. I'll put that back in the chat box. So that link, I did that just to you, Steve. Let me put that in there. Let's see. So in the chat box, that link will be live. I keep them up there forever. And so they can come to these slides and go through any part of the slide that they'd like to. The link on the very first slide takes them to the resource folder, and that's available for everybody as well. Let's see. Career exploration. Are there better tools? Career exploration, you can do it with ChatGPT. Yes, I would look at Magic School, however. That has a really good one in there. And the Learn AI is another one I would for the where was the question? For the career exploration. So Magic School will help you with the career, and then Learn AI. Also how you do your prompt. Okay, depending upon what you're looking for in the career exploration. So as a career counselor, list several career options for, and maybe a specific career, with giving the audience being a high school junior. Include college degrees necessary, trade schools, things like that. And you'll get that back as well. So I did the presentation. Let's see. Oh, he's going to post it on the website as well. Okay, to
There's
create.
a question earlier about do any of the image generators create alt text for the images?
They don't generate the alt text necessarily, but they'll allow you before you download it to add the alt text. Firefly does that. When you save it, you can put alt text with it. Most it doesn't automatically generate it, however.
It looks like somebody in the chat shared some that can do that.
Yeah, alt text AI, yeah. Yep, to generate the alt text. Awesome. Let's see, did I miss any there?
Yeah, the presentation software you use is Genially, correct?
Correct, Genially. It has an awesome free platform. It's wonderful. Oh yeah, presentation. So that's Genially. Did we skip anybody's? Oh, AI tools used on mobile devices. Actually, most of these you can use on a mobile device. I've used Firefly on the mobile device to generate pictures, usually an iPad, not my phone. But ChatGPT, Goblin tools will work on a mobile device as well. I didn't do any mobile apps for it, but most of the ones I showed on here you can access with a mobile device. I like Goblin tools that you can access that way. Because sometimes I just need to rethink what I'm going to say. Okay. Did we miss anybody?
I'm scrolling. I think you got everyone.
Awesome. I'm glad. I see lots of people said they got resources to dive in for their classroom. I know there's so much you can do. It's hard to put it all in just 1 hour. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a bunch. I hope I've given you resources, ways to think about your prompts, and to build it. That's the key component with any of the chat tools out there is how do you ask? How do you format that to get what you want?
Our schedule for tomorrow, if you guys are coming back tomorrow for our next 2 sessions, those are up on the board there. We have one at 10 a.m. and then the afternoon session at 2 p.m. You should also be getting look out for a survey that'll be a survey/conference evaluation that'll be coming out here in the near future. And then on our slide here again, if you would like to get any of these resources, they will be posted on the ilco.net site after the conference is ended under the resources and events. All right, Lisa, thank you for presenting. People that attended, thank you for your attendance. I hope everybody got a lot of stuff out of here that they can use. There's some fun stuff in there as well. But everybody have a good rest of their day.